Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Can you tell that I'm fucking salty today? Wait, I'm not supposed to swear in the first couple of minutes of the video, right? It's fine. My channel isn't monetized anyway, so I don't give a shit. So today I am going to bring you a rant review. You're fucking welcome. I've gotten pretty good recently at picking out books that I actually enjoy, but you know, every now and again I'm going to read a book that is absolutely terrible. The Wind-up Bird Chronicles by Murakami. Fun fact, used to love Murakami. So I read After Dark, I read 1Q84 and Killing Commendatore. I really enjoyed all of those, especially Killing Commendatore. It's one of my favorites. But this book was a huge letdown. So I'm going to tell you all about why I hated it today. So what is the Wind-up Bird Chronicles even about? Good question. There is no clear answer, but I'm gonna do my best. This book follows Toru Okada. I'm trying my best with pronunciation. I mean, I was gonna say don't judge me, but you know what, feel free to hate on me in the comments, that's fine. We follow Toru Okada, who is, you know, the generic loser in his 30s that Murakami seems to write about all the time. He doesn't want to work. He is basically like a housewife kind of thing. His wife does everything for him. He's kind of in a very dead and boring marriage. And one day, his cat goes missing. His wife gets really anxious about it, which is understandable. I mean, I would care a lot about the cat if I was stuck in a marriage with Toru Okada. And he gets a sex phone call from this mysterious woman in true Murakami fashion. And then his wife leaves him. But that has nothing to do with the phone sex lady. Shortly after, a few things happen right at the beginning of this novel. We are introduced to a catalogue of very strange main characters and just all sorts of magical realism stuff ensues. 90% of this book is just really fucking weird female characters saying enigmatic shit to him that he doesn't understand, that the reader doesn't understand, and that don't really get resolved at the end of the novel. If that sounds like something that you would enjoy, read it. I mean, this review is going to be mainly spoiler free, so you can watch this and then go read it. But if that does sound like a book that you would enjoy, don't watch my review. It's just going to put a bad taste in your mouth. That being said, if you really just enjoy watching me rant about books that I don't enjoy, you can stay. That being said, I will start by telling you what I did enjoy about that book, because this is not a 1-star rating. This is a 2-star rating. The reason for that is because I really enjoyed the first 200 pages. This is like 700 pages long. For the first 200 pages, I couldn't put it down. It was very engaging, it was interesting. I find the writing really engaging and descriptive and immersing, but after a while, I hated the story so much, I was so done with it, that after the, let's say, 300 page mark, I was just kind of forcing myself to read this. I enjoy Murakami's sense of humor, I enjoy his metaphors and his descriptions, and that's about it. And I like the cover. I think the cover is really sick, but you know, that's it. Now let's talk about the stuff that I was not a fan of in this book. Where do I start? You know what, I'm gonna start with the characters, because holy shit, I never realized how fucking misogynistic Murakami is, and in his other books, I wasn't as bothered by it, because a lot of the female characters in Killing Commendatore or After Dark, they were pretty well fleshed out. They had character traits that went beyond having a vagina. You know, even though they were kind of strange, and I always, you know, asked myself whether Murakami had ever had an interaction with a woman ever, I could put up with it. I could not put up with it in this book. Even the main character, who is a man, is the same as in every other Murakami novel that I have read. It is a loser man in his 30s who has no passion, no interests, no defining characteristic at all, and yet is thrown into this bizarre world where every woman just throws herself at him, even the underage one. So, you know, something I didn't particularly appreciate. Listen, I have more tolerance for Murakami's misogyny than most, but this was just unbearable. I do not understand why every female character in this novel just throws herself at this absolutely uninteresting character, except for his wife who leaves him. Okada has no charisma, no personality, and yet every woman in this novel basically begs to sleep with him. If you want to know why this is a problem, like I said, the underage one as well. Meet Mei Kasahara, because she acts like she's 13 and is sexualized like she is 25. And it is constantly hinted at that she is attracted to Okada. There are descriptions of her breasts and her developing body which made me extremely uncomfortable. Besides being the dictionary definition of the manic pixie dream girl. She it says really annoying shit. There was this one moment she was like, people like me don't get along with dictionaries, and I was like, okay. Her passion in life is wig making. You know, it's like Murakami was just like, let's make this the most manic pixie dream girl to ever be manic and a pixie ever. We can also talk about Criticano, another very enigmatic character. I mean, this is a spoiler, but I guess a minus. No, it's barely a spoiler. It's mentioned right at the beginning of the novel. Her character has been violently raped by Okada's brother-in-law and then decides to have sex with Okada to be purified. Make it make sense. Okada also, okay, I guess this is spoiler, but I don't care. Okada becomes a prostitute of the mind, whatever that fucking means. I read the book and I don't get it. I just think it's super degrading and disrespectful towards not only real rape victims, but also the fucking rape victim in this novel, the fictional one. We get really sad descriptions of Criticano's rape and her really tough life, and then it just invalidates everything that happened to her. I understand that Murakami just wanted to dive right into the weirdness by talking about being a prostitute of the mind or whatever, but this added basically nothing to this novel. This is just a series of things that make zero sense. There are so many loose ends in this book, and this book could have still been a strange, confusing mess without being absolutely insensitive to rape victims. These things have an important place in literature, but I mean, if you're gonna talk about rape, be fucking respectful. I don't know. I understand that Murakami is an old man, but he lives in the same era as we do. Maybe he should catch up with the times. I don't know. The only female character that I was okay with in this book, Okada's ex-wife, Kumiko. I liked her because she leaves Okada, and she leaves him in the most brutal way. Do you want to hear a quote? Okay, let's listen to this quote. "You never realized that I was having an affair. You never doubted me. Even when I began coming home late, I'm sure you trusted me completely. You thought I could never betray you. And for betraying this trust of yours, I have no sense of guilt. I would call you from the hotel room and say that work was going to keep me out late. I piled on lie on top of another, but they caused me no pain. It seemed like the most natural thing in the world to do. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but the fact is that I was never able to have true sexual pleasure with you, either before or after we were married." This is savage. I enjoyed this. This added at least half a star rating. Now, when it comes to the plot, I get the appeal of it. I get it. But it doesn't appeal to me personally. I understand that a lot of people like to get mindfucked, but I would have actually liked this book a lot more if Murakami hadn't left so many loose ends. Again, this is supposed to be a spoiler-free review, so I'm not going to get into it, but if you are going to read this, expect to have a lot of weird shit, a lot of strange circumstances thrown at you, and not really have them be explained at the end of the novel, which I understand that some people like to be able to think about it and like to be able to reflect on it after they've read it. But you have 600 pages to lose your mind over what's going on. So frankly, I feel like we deserve an explanation by the end of it to put us out of our misery as readers. So that's really not something that I liked. It's a personal opinion, might not be yours. If you feel like you could enjoy this, fucking good for you. But sadly, it really didn't work for me at all. I lost all interest after the 300-page mark. Reading this entire rest of the book felt like an actual chore. I was just really put off by the way women are written, the way their experiences are described, by the fact that a child essentially is sexualized by the narrator, who is bland and boring and doesn't really add anything to the story except be a fucking moron throughout all of it. It was honestly too much for me. I could not handle it. I don't want to write off Murakami completely, to be honest. I think I'm gonna give Norwegian Wood a try. It sounds a lot less like magical realism from what I've gathered. And I am kind of sad to have hated this book so much. If you have read a lot of Murakami, if you can point me towards the ones that don't sexualize children, that aren't too misogynistic, and have a less moronic narrator, feel free to recommend something to me. But I'm gonna have to take a break before I dive into Murakami ever again. Guys, I think I'm gonna end it here because I can't really say much more without involving spoilers. I only had one spoiler or two or something like that, so I did my best. If you want to read it, fucking go for it. Can't say I recommend it, but you know, to each their own. And if you read it and enjoy it, please let me know why. Because, you know, I totally accept the fact that I may just be too stupid to understand the intricacies of this novel. I just didn't enjoy it at all. So, yeah, that's it. Subscribe, comment, like, please, I'm begging you. And you can follow me on Instagram. Don't follow me on Twitter. I don't post anything on there. And yeah, I will see you guys soon. Goodbye.